Welcome to Bistro Ginkgo, the longevity cuisine. I'm going to cook a warm soup for the cold summer day. So first, I cook this soup, which is from the Drunken Chicken from this, and I stored the soup in the storage. And as I always do, is I save the time for preparing and only put all the ingredients on the table. And while the soup is cooking, it's preparing, I cut and I prepare. First, I want to use this soup for two different dishes. The first one is to add some iodine in our body. I want to make a Shanghai seaweed warm salad. So for these, I have to blanch it in this soup because to bring the very nice ocean flavor to this soup, and then to just blanch it and then it comes out. Before that, I soak it in water, and then take out the seaweed, and I can work on with this fusioned soup with the seaweed and make the other soup. So to plan the soup, I have to know what is going first in which order all the ingredients is going in. First, I prepared 3 kinds of different tomatoes. The smaller one with different kind and taste, it's for garnish. It's for the end. And this is for the second end, is a glass noodle with green pea starch. So when I was a child, it was from Mongol bean. It is very nutritional and has some, protein, but now it's more or less carbohydrate, but it's a very nice kind of carbohydrate. And the thing is, like, it can get the flavor from outside like tofu. So I would put it into the soup at the very last second, and then it's like a noodle soup, but it's not the normal wheat noodle. And so first, for preparing the soup, I want to have the bigger tomato. Yesterday we bought the cheaper normal Dutch potato, and this is a Spanish one. It's called a rose color tomato with kind of sour. It's more sour and more aromatic than this kind of industrialized sweet standard tomato. So I use these two, and after I will be ready blanched the seaweed. The first thing to do is to add tomato, to let the tomato umami come into the soup. So it can also cook 10 minutes, then tomatoes will disappear. And then I like to have this, root beet. It can also cook a little bit longer. And because this soup is oily, but the oil came just from the skin of the legs from the chicken, so I want to remain it. Sure, if I don't want to have it, I can take a paper towel to absorb it. But I'd like to maintain this natural oil in the soup, because it's also very flavoring, and for not have a very oily soup, I need the leaves. This is why you can use every kind of leaves, and it's also the third last to come in. So this is why I have the leaves, and these are the rest of the cabbage I already eaten 2 days ago, and then I want to use the rest And these stuff, it's rich of fiber. It's good for microbiome. So I just cut it into the soup also for the early phase. And the second thing is I separate it, and the part which is soft, I would make a salad, marinated with salt in the kind of zucchini mono style. And also this is for the salad. And then I want to have the zucchini to the soup, and also I will use a little bit from the celery to the soup. So now the soup is cooking. I can use just the soup to blanch it. Bring it to the bowl again. Just 1-2 minutes. Then take it out, wait until it's cold again, and then I will make a salad off of it, but in the next video. So now I take it out. Also, the rest of the heat will how to say, cook it longer. So this is ready for later. Now I want to cut everything is washed. So cut the tomato. Now I don't have boiled, otherwise it will come out. And I don't want to have the tomato all in the mash. That's why I just stop the heating and cut the tomato in smaller slices and add to the soup first. Now, if you like, you can turn on the heat like 5, because I need a little bit time to cut it. And the beetroot, maybe 1 is enough. I just prepared 3, but I don't need that much. Not too thin, because you want to have a texture, or I want to have a texture. So if you want to have it very thin or to soft, you can cut it very thin like this. You can cut it like this to just have an idea, because sometimes you need maybe the red color. So you can like this, and I decide to have a little bit thicker to have something to bite on. So it's cook again. I reduce it with 2 now, because I'm explaining, so I'm slower than normal I'm used to do. So these, and now the cabbage. The cabbage will take all the oil into the leaves, because it has a very broad surface, and then the cabbage will taste very, very umami. So then this is for salad. For the soup, it's also washed, and then just cut it alongside the fiber, because it will get the taste from the soup easily to the structure, and not that this. If you cut like this, the celery will taste like medicine, so a lot of people don't like it. Then I take these, because also these the original recipe. Michael, have a look. Here, the oil is gone already, so I don't have I don't have any problem with the oil. So now I'd like to have some of these, because the combination of tomato and the zucchini is a very standard Shanghai soup during the very hot summer day. So this matches very good in that. And I take more because I love zucchini. And also zucchini can get the flavor into it. There are two kinds. You can separate the plants or every ingredient in two parts. The one they are neutral. They don't have any taste, but the idea is to get the taste from outside, like tofu, zucchini, and so on. Then you have to add. And sometimes something is like they give the flavor, the aroma to their partners. So it's like celery, maybe onion. And I want to have a little bit of this kohlrabi. I love kohlrabi. And why I'm putting kohlrabi so late into the soup? Because if you cook kohlrabi too long, it's very stinky. It's very cabbage-like, so I don't like it. But it brings the sweetness into the soup. Yes, and then first I take a little bit of onion, and the white onion is to give the soup some sweet taste, and also the onion is for lower the blood pressure, and it's also make the soup fresh, because this is too earthy. The whole thing is too like if it's music, it's like very deep tone. So you have to have something what is higher up the tones. So I use these, and I always want to have mix the onion thing and take a little bit from the red onion. And the red onion is like it's much more onion, much more flavor, but it's also a little bit hot. And with this hotness, you bring the flavor into the soup. Now, then I put this inside. And at this moment, bring it to a bowl. All the oil is gone. All the vegetable take the whole oil, the animal oil, chicken oil into the soup. And then I like to have the glass noodle, which I soaked in cold water. If you didn't soak it in water, it doesn't matter. You only want to just wash. Either you want to have it very, how do you say, with much taste in the noodle itself, just washing, tap water, throw in, and then it's ready after 1-2 minutes. So now I'd like to have 1 or 2 pieces of the kept. At least I don't need these anymore, because it was just an insurance, let's say, for the very oily soup. But now I think it's not needed, but I still chew, because it's also so fresh to make the melody of the soup going a little bit higher up. And then, before I turn out, I'd like to add some eggs because also the egg in a soft version, it's so umami. And it's also good for body and soul and everything. And Michael and I, each person get 2 eggs. The egg can be cooked only with the heat, so I can just shut down. And let me put another egg in it. And use the rest of the heat to cook the soup for 1 minute. Then it's ready. Michael, the meal is ready.
Thank you.